Hello and welcome to National Focus. I am Julian Morris. In the headlines, government to present a $1.2 billion budget on Tuesday. An over $6 million feeder road project for the south of the island. And St. Joseph Playing Field undergoes rehabilitation works as Football League opens. The details of the headline stories and more when we return.
I love the freedom when I'm out there. Simply put, the worries from shore, none of that out there. And it's my daily bread. I learned it from my dad. My dad is one of the senior guys here who catch the biggest fish around here. And he's top with the red snappers. It's a family thing. I'm the only one fishing right now in the family. Just keeping it going. I enjoy bringing them up, man. Sometimes you have a yellowfin tuna, 400 pounds. Man, let me tell you, that's just a joy out there. I enjoy going out there and just holding the big fish. I don't lift weights, I lift fish. The morning of my fishing trip, I would get up, make a little spiced tea. Then I come down here. I have my GPS, which most fishermen are supposed to have that. Normally I prepare the day before, because whenever you go out there, you must have ice. Ice is a must for preservation of the fish. So I always make sure I have everything the day before. My fish represents me, and I bring good quality fish ashore simply because the restaurants themselves, they have to show a quality product. Tourism and agriculture go hand in hand, that's what I think. We're all connected. It's like a big machine, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it. My name is Brandon Carlisle, and tourism is my business.
Welcome back. The third meeting of the first session of the 11th Parliament gets underway on Tuesday, July 24 from 10 a.m. This is an important meeting of Parliament as Minister for Finance, Economic Development, Climate Resilience and Social Security, Honourable Dr. Irving McIntyre, will present the 2023-2024 national budget amounting to $1,234,524,036. This is the first time in 19 years that a budget will be presented by someone other than the Prime Minister, Honourable Roosevelt Skerrit. The draft estimates of expenditure for the fiscal year 2023-2024 includes total recurrent expenditure of $532,954,164 and capital expenditure of $701,569,872.
So we actually met the agriculture sector, we met the small business sector, we met quite a few of the bigger businesses in Dominica as well. We had some real engaging sessions, I must confess. They had some brilliant ideas. And if you notice over the past few years, whenever we consult with the different stakeholders and whatever they have been recommending, suggesting, we sort of go through it and we see what's best for the country. And actually we've included quite a few of those things in our budget. So that we've done so far, and we continue doing this. And I think we're in a good position. We've got some really great ideas, good recommendations, and we always put the people first.
Dr. McIntyre says despite global financial challenges, the Dominica Labour Party administration will prepare a budget that will put people first.
We have to look at the backdrop on which this budget is coming. This is obviously coming at a very tough time in the world. Internationally, the financial situation is not the best, not just for Dominica, for every country in the world there. And we know the reason why that happened. We've had these external shocks, whether it's from Erica to Maria to COVID, the war in Ukraine, we see inflation, etc., etc. And that hasn't made things easier for us. So this is the backdrop on which the budget comes. And in spite of all of this, I think we are in a good state to present a budget that is representative of all the sectors, and everyone will benefit. All the citizens of Dominica should and will be happy when we present this budget.
Over $6 million is being invested in the rehabilitation of the Chartwell feeder road. A ceremony was held on Monday morning to mark the commencement of this project. This project is being undertaken under government's quest to rehabilitate feeder roads or feeder access roads through the 11th EDF B envelope state building contract. 2 work contracts have been awarded and signed as Lot 1, valued at over $3 million, to Emil Gadakan FE Limited, with an estimated duration of 4 months. The length of this phase is 1,005 meters. The road will span 1,005 meters from the end of Pishley. The proposed works will include demolition and clearance, pavement and drainage, excavation and earthworks for slope stabilization, and the demolition of 3 existing culverts and construction of a new single-cell concrete culvert. Lot 2 from Belvier-Jopin End is valued at over $2 million and was awarded to Offshore Civil and Marine for the completion of a 2.17-meter span of road. The proposed work will include the excavation and earthworks for pavement and road widening and the removal and reinstallation of existing water main supply line from the center of the roadway to the left-hand side.
Under the 11th EDF state building contract, all the resources were committed to the rehabilitation of feeder roads. So far, we have rehabilitated 8 feeder roads all across the country. Chartwell is different, and it posed some particular challenges. But we had, at the end of the day, to ensure that Chartwell feeder road was rehabilitated and will be rehabilitated. We have over $6 million, Eastern Caribbean dollars, committed to the rehabilitation of the Chartwell feeder road.
The rehabilitation of the Chartwell feeder road is significant not only with respect to agriculture production, as it will also be utilized as an alternative route for the south of the island. This is an alternative route, will be necessary to accommodate the construction works on the Loubier to Bagatelle road. Director of Agriculture, Mr. Ricky Bruman, says this road will be of major benefit to farmers of the south.
Our farmers are very hardworking. Our farmers produce the food for our tables. Our farmers bring foreign exchange into the country, and of course adds to livelihoods and income generation. And as such, no matter how long it is another important component in the scheme of road rehabilitation and road development. I know we've done this across the country. We've done that in La Plaine and Wesley and Woodfordale, and it fits squarely into the ministry's actions to ensure our programs are delivered to the people of the country. And this is a new one for us, and we will continue to add to them. We will continue to interface with our farmers and work with our stakeholders.
8 work contracts were signed for works in the agriculture regions, valued at over 20 million EC dollars. Work has been completed on all 8 of these road segments, namely Middle Ridge at Calibishi, Bopla at Paybush, Mango Gutter at Wesley, Formy at Castle Bruce, Agriculture Station Road at La Plaine, Morpo Macaton Grand Bay, Cuba, Cahum in Meru, and Grand Riviere also in La Plaine. Government continues to prioritize the rehabilitation of feeder roads to improve access for farmers and residents across the island. Footballers in the St. Joseph constituency can now boast of a larger and a better playing field as rehabilitation works were undertaken over the weekend. More in this report from Kuvia John.
These long-awaited works began on Friday, July 21st and ran until Sunday, July 24th, 2023. The project, which included the placing of culverts in a huge drain separating the playing field and the St. Joseph Catholic Church, will increase the safety of players using the field. Member of Parliament for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Darren Lloyd, says these works will address a long-standing drainage issue in the constituency.
Over the past years, we have witnessed the undermining of this playing field that you can see behind you, and there has been a vociferous call by the constituents and the residents of the St. Joseph community for this challenge to be rectified. So we have negotiated and communicated with a well-known company through the person of Jack Gadakan, who has assisted us in placing some heavy culverts in this big drain that you can see behind us. I believe this is going to be of tremendous importance to the young men and women, sportsmen and women of the St. Joseph constituency. As a matter of fact, I believe it's going to enhance not just the aesthetics, but sports in general.
This project will also result in the extension of the playing field.
The project is going to entail the placing of heavy culverts. We'll also be backfilling these culverts and slabbing it. So what you'll find happening is at the end of this project, more than just having the ability for us to have proper drainage, we are also going to be extending the playing field. So this is another component which is going to be of significant value to sports in St. Joseph.
Resident of Layu, Mr. Jeffrey Johnson, described the project as significant to the sports community in the constituency.
This project actually is significant to the development of St. Joseph's sports community, and seeing fit that the Honorable Darren Lloyd decided to have a football league starting on Sunday. He realized that the drain posed a challenge to the footballers and decided to take up this community project that will significantly enhance the field for sportsmen and women. So as you can see today, it's been rushed, but it's much needed, and it's for the safety of the players, and it will contribute a great deal to the community of St. Joseph and the sportsmen and women.
Another resident of the constituency and manager of the Meru football team, Mr. Pierre, says upon completion, this project will bring tremendous benefits for the community.
The completion of this project will provide tremendous benefits for the community in regards to persons playing sports, because before there was limitations in terms of the players occupying the entire field. Upon the completion of this project, safety, which is of paramount importance, so players will be able to play in a safer environment, and additionally there will be very less limitations, so players will be better able to showcase their skills and display their talents. When we had this type of activities going on this league, we have seen a few players basically got injured as a result of when playing, so they have entered into the culvert or the drain, and as a result they have sustained a few injuries. So upon the completion of this project, that this will be no more, I can assure you that there will be no drains to enter right now, and the players will be in a much safer environment.
Following the completion of the rehabilitation works on Sunday, the St. Joseph Sports Committee officially opened the Honorable Darren Lloyd Football League. 7 teams registered for the league, and the Member of Parliament presented each team with brand new uniforms. On Sunday, the participating teams had a small parade to signify the opening of the league. Honorable Lloyd says he is pleased to witness the return of the Football League to the St. Joseph constituency.
Today is a victory for each and every person in the St. Joseph constituency. I am extremely pleased, now more than ever, as your parliamentary representative, to return football here in the St. Joseph constituency. Now, we have done something extremely incredible, and that is we have fixed the challenge which has affected us here in the St. Joseph community, where the playing field is concerned. Now, there was mounting anticipation whether or not we're going to have this Ballarama. But because of the collective effort of each and every one of you, working hand in hand, we have successfully completed this much needed project in time for our Ballarama.
He urged the participating teams to put their all into the games and to play fair and entertaining football.
Let me say to you, the participants, the players, that give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. I expect fair play. I expect excitement. I expect competitiveness. And give it your all. And just know that we are playing for beautiful rewards. We're playing for beautiful trophies, top quality trophies. And very importantly, the top 3 teams will be receiving cash. I'm not talking about checks or IOUs. I'm talking about larger cash. You will be playing for larger cash. And you will also be playing for your reputation. So go out there and demonstrate your genius, your sporting genius, to the Commonwealth of Dominica.
The Layu football team won the opening Ballarama, beating Harlem 1-0 in overtime. The other participating teams included Ghettos, Hell Street, Georgia, Meru, and Veterans. Kuvia John for the Government Information Service.
Thank you, Kuvia, for that report. You are watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. Dominica's participation in the ongoing 2023 Winner Islands Schools Games has gotten off to a great start as the teams have won all the games so far. The teams have faced off in boys and girls basketball, netball, and boys volleyball. On Sunday, the boys volleyball team emerged victorious, taking the game 3-0. They defeated the St. Lucia team in 3 straight sets, 25-11, 25-13, and 25-23. The netball team pulled off a close win over the St. Lucia girls with a 29-27 victory. The boys basketball team also emerged victorious in clinching a huge win over the St. Vincent basketball team, with the game ending 104-43. The winning streak continued on Monday with the girls basketball team. Facing off against St. Lucia, the girls dominated the game throughout, ending with a 27-point victory. The final scores were 54-27. Basketball coach Mr. Yannick Regis says he's satisfied with the results of the tournament so far.
So far, I'm very satisfied with our results in the tournament. Yesterday, we having a big win against the St. Vincent team, where our senior players like Jamal Peltier and Yawani Regis led the way. Today, we had an extremely exciting game where we saw our girls defeating the St. Lucia team by a convincing margin, where you can see the young talents of Limaya Ford leading the way for our team. For the rest of the tournament, we look forward to positioning ourselves for the gold medal, and that is our end game, to win gold in both the boys and girls side of the tournament. So we look forward to that, and we're excited to see how the rest of the tournament will end.
Both the girls and boys volleyball team faced off against St. Lucia on Monday evening, while the boys football team played their first match also against St. Lucia. GIS News will bring you the results in a subsequent newscast. Prime Minister the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit says Dominica has been very cooperative with the implementing of a number of measures to curb unsavory characters who may want to use Dominica's CBI program as an entry point to countries such as the United Kingdom. The remarks came during an address to the nation last week, following the UK's announcement that it was suspending visa-free travel between the two countries.
We have fresh impetus to go back and relook where we can do even better in terms of giving our international counterparts confidence in our security measures, which are already some of the most robust in the world when compared to other jurisdictions. As a matter of fact, we shall engage the services of a European-based entity who shall come in to do a comprehensive review of our entire program and so advise us of any additional changes which we ought to make. We'll continue to engage the United Kingdom on the matter, as we will do with other nations, like those of the European Union and with the United States of America.
Prime Minister Skerrit says Dominicans who still wish to travel to the UK can do so, as an office will be erected on island to assist with the visa applications.
We appreciate that at this time, the imposition of visa requirements will create an inconvenience for many of our citizens who visit the UK for vacation, to visit family, or who transit the UK frequently. This, however, does not prevent Dominicans from traveling to or through the United Kingdom. Dominicans are still welcome to the United Kingdom. To reiterate their desire not to impede the efforts of Dominicans resident at home to enter and transit the United Kingdom, the British government has instituted a program where it shall accept applications online and set up an office on demand here in Dominica to allow applicants to submit their biometrics and to finalize their applications.
Dominicans living overseas can also request the visa at offices nearest their location.
Dominicans who do not reside in Dominica can also request entry visas at UK consular offices nearest to them. We continue to remain engaged with the rest of the world, punching above our weight in international fora, and lending our leadership in promoting some of the key global issues of the day, including that of climate change, investing in alternative energy, and advocating for greater fairness in the global economic space.
Honorable Justice Thomas Astafan has said farewell to Dominica's High Court of Justice following an official closing ceremony of the May 2023 criminal session. During the session, Honorable Astafan addressed legal practitioners, the jury, police, prison service, and everyone who contributed to his sessions and a brief assignment in Dominica. Honorable Astafan extended, special thanks to the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force for the role they played in the court's criminal proceedings.
During my time here in the criminal court, I've been very impressed by and comforted by the presence of the police, all under your quite able leadership. And I wish to thank, on behalf of the entire staff, the bar, and the jurors, I wish to thank you and your superior officers as well as your junior officers who are physically with us for all that you all have done over the last 3.5 months to assist us in moving forward with the criminal assizes. And it's heartening to see the cooperation and the humaneness that has been on display over the last 3.5 months. And I thank you all sincerely, and I thank you personally.
Honorable Astafan says he was also particularly impressed with the work ethic of Dominican lawyers.
First of all, the lawyers try their best for their clients. For sure. They try their utmost to represent their clients to the best of their abilities. Even when the ship's sinking, they're fighting to come out of that hole, right to the end, which is a good thing. That's what you're supposed to do. All of them. Those who have appeared before me in the criminal court and in the civil court. And those whom I've met socially, they all exhibit the same traits.
Honorable Astafan commended the lawyers on the genuine friendship that exists in and out of their professional settings.
What is most impressive of all is the collegiality amongst the lawyers, the bar in Dominica, the relationships. It's not like that in most of the other islands. I can tell you I've sat in all except St. Vincent. Every single one I've sat in. Dominica stands out with the relationship between the lawyers, the genuine friendships, the getting along well, setting aside whatever professional tensions there are.
Justice Astafan encouraged the young lawyers to continue the good work.
You all have some sound young lawyers. Well, I say young meaning you're younger than me. And I need you all to continue along the path you're going. And I wish to thank everybody. And hopefully someday in the future I'll see you all again. If not, farewell.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching.